Welcome to the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. Each show is filled with news, reviews, interviews, and expert advice from the industry. All for you, the author. And now, here's our host, H.D. Campbell.
Hi, welcome to a brand new season of the Author's Corner. As always, I'm your host, H.D. Campbell. This season is almost 10 years. Next season will be definitely 10 years of the Author's Corner. We had all types of fun, all types of interviews. Today, for the season premiere, we're doing a best of episode before we dive into some powerful interviews. But today, I'm going to give you the best of the last 10 years of the Author's Corner. This best of episode has a great author that I used to flirt a lot with. It has a great music team that I worked with. It also has, a comedy duo that I'm a fan of. So, I'm not going to spoil the surprises, but when we come back, we'll have our first interview. Welcome back to the Author's Corner, Best of Edition. The first interview that I have is with Sashi. She's a woman I've been flirting with for a long time. She's very powerful in the business game, powerful in the author game. She's just powerful. She motivates you. There's no laziness where she's from. So without further ado, here's the interview. Your career started in the mortgage industry. You ended up publishing 2 self-help books and now your first novel. What started your writing career?
Oh, good Lord. I started writing actually in junior high school. Yeah, junior high school. When I had won an award, well, I had done an essay. So I had been, doodling as a teenager, writing off and on, and diaries, doing essays, and just penning stuff that came to my mind. And basically, that's pretty much, where it all started at.
Okay. Well, I'm about to put you on the spot a little more. I'm going to switch gears for just a second. Well, in addition to writing, you wear a few more hats. You're a credit counselor, you're a business consultant, you're a talk show host, you do blogging. Now, I've interviewed a whole lot of superwomen, and you are no different. How do you keep it all together?
Oh, good Lord. I don't know how people term that keep it all together thing. I don't know. I just do what I do. And I can say this, that I calendar myself very well, because outside of those things that you just mentioned, I also volunteer and taking courses and added several other features to that on that website. But I calendar myself pretty well. We all are given the same amount of days and hours and minutes each and every day. So it's how you manage your time.
Okay. Well, now we'll get back on track. Can you give me a brief synopsis of your self-help titles?
My self-help topics?
Titles, I'm sorry.
Self-help titles.
Sorry, yeah.
Actually, listen up. I'm gonna start with the credit counseling. It's you see my dog's here.
Oh, that's fine. The dog can be in the interview too.
The credit counseling is to help those that are credit checked. Meaning, I'm not going to clean your credit up for you. I'm going to teach you how to clean it up yourself. And this way, you have a better understanding of how the credit system works. And hopefully, the person does not get back into that situation again. And if they do, they can take it on themselves. And they know the steps to take. The home-based business is to set up your home office and your home, your home-based business from beginning to end. People get into a business and they're so excited, they're so gung-ho, they just dive in, excuse me, and they forget about the office part of the business and how to set that up, how record keeping goes, and the tax end of the business. So I, pretty much teach them how to do that or coach them along the way.
So you pretty much so are to teach a man to fish so he can fish on his own instead of giving the man the fish. I like that.
Yes.
Heck, I'd much rather someone teach me how to fish. So that way, if I'm out by myself, I can feed myself. I won't starve. I know that much.
Exactly. It's called self-sufficient. Yes.
Now, I haven't read any of your self-help titles yet, but I already can identify. I know that you can already identify the number one reason of success is due to procrastination. Mm-hmm. So what I need to know is, what do you do to combat procrastination?
Ooh. I really have to, I hate to say this on camera, but kick myself in the butt.
Now remember, this is going on the show where it can be seen over and over and over again. Just think about that.
I can't say that I avoid it, because I don't. I do procrastinate at times, but not a lot of times. But how I do that is I really have to take stock in me and kick myself and say, stop. Like, I'll use it for instance. I put a time that's coming up, and that basically, I have stated that I'm going to do an all-nighter in the coming week to get that, that novel finished. So I really have to step on myself not to procrastinate.
I think you and I both actually are on the same wavelength with that. Well, why do you believe that? Why do you believe that we do procrastinate?
Well, I think in my opinion, this is just mine. I'm a disclaimer that some people may be afraid of the change. Some people may be afraid of the success of doing well. Or, I hate to say this, people, so forgive me on this, but some people just downright lazy.
I don't blame you. Look, trust me, I truly understand. I'm taking moments out to show my viewers your website and the features of it, to where whenever they want to.
I think you're reading the business website, but yes, there's.
You do have another one?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well we'll get with that here in just a second then. All right.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Now we done already talked about your business side, and now I'm gonna get a little personal with you. I want to talk about your sensual side. You didn't think I was gonna get to that. Give me a synopsis of that erotica book you wrote. So you think I'm gonna get to that sexy side? Got you smiling all over the place now. Look at you, turning red over there. All right. So give me a synopsis of your book. Oh, and one other thing. Give my audience your pen name. I love your pen name, but you got to give it to them.
Okay, my pen name is my first name and my middle name together, so it's nothing hidden. It's Jeane Sashi.
Okay. I love that name.
So I'm not hiding anything of who I am. It's me.
That is not a problem. Now give me a synopsis of your book.
Okay, the synopsis of the book is there's a young lady that is looking for love, who is ready to have a relationship in her life, and she's quite picky. There are 3 men vying for her attention, her affections, and it's basically when the bottle spins, which one will she choose?
See, you didn't build a love triangle. You built yourself a little love square rectangle type of thing there. But thanks to you, I'm so curious. I'm going to have to get the book. First, before I go any further, is your book on Kindle and Nook or just Kindle?
It's Kobo. It's on Smashwords.
All right. Well,
Yes.
I'll tell you what.
And Borders.
Okay,
So
and
it's
Bill.
Books A Million.
Okay, well, I will be getting it. But now you have to give me the inspiration behind your novel.
Oh. Yeah, but it's not that she does display some of my character traits type of thing. But the inspiration behind it was I had a few short stories that I had written, and I just had them sitting and wasn't doing anything with them, didn't know what I was going to do with them. So one day I was looking at the short stories, looking them over. Should I toss them in the trash? Should I keep them? I decided and didn't know which way I was going with the book when I started. It just rolled off. And hence the book, Intimate Moments.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Well, hold on one second here. All right. Well, do you have any more books in the works, like any sequels or any more in the series?
Right behind Intimate Moments, like I said, the second one that I'm working on that I will be diligently this weekend doing an all-nighter on, it is coming right behind Intimate Moments, and it's sort of a sequel to that. It's in a series. It's in the series of that one. It's called the J Spot.
Oh.
Not the G, J. It's the J Spot.
You're going to have me going broke buying all your books. Then I'm going to have to buy your self-help books to get myself out of debt. See, you're playing a game with me right now. You're trying to get me to buy all your books, then I have to buy your self-help books to get myself out of debt. See, you're not right.
Very good.
You are not right. You're running a scam here. I'm going to love these books too, aren't I, bet?
Yes, you are. I appreciate that. So, yes.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
It should be out by the end of December. And then right behind that one, I should have, I'm toying with the title of the third one, so I just don't want to do the title of that one out because I'm still toying with that one.
Okay. Okay. Well, my next thing is, do you have any appearances or any signings or anything special going on soon?
As far as signings, I didn't want to do any signings until, excuse me, I didn't want to do any signings until I at least had 2, maybe 3 books up under me. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to go out there just yet.
Oh, I got you. Oh, I see. All right, that's fine. No, I was wondering, how can your fans, such as myself, get a hold of you on your website? Which websites we can go to?
The best way, the website is JayBennett.com. Excuse me.
Oh, you're fine.
On that website, or they can reach me on Facebook or Twitter.
All right. What's your name on Twitter?
It's just my name, Jeane Bennett.
Okay. That is just fine. Now, a couple more questions, and we'll be done. First, I wanted to ask you, what I asked of all my authors, what would you say for someone who's trying to get where you are now in the literary world?
Trying to get to where I am now. Oh wow! I'm trying to say, where am I?
or at least, or let's just say this: I'm starting out. I don't know how to start. What can you say to me if I want to get started in the literary world?
Well, I say this: everyone has a story to tell. Whether it's fiction, nonfiction, everybody has a story within them. Get a tablet, a notebook. Just write from your. Don't worry about what it sounds like. Even if you're writing on a bunch of Post-it notes or a bunch of pads, put them all together out there. Mm-hmm. And the story will come together. Mm-hmm. In the beginning, it may sound, or sound and look like it doesn't make any sense in the gibberish, and sometimes I feel that way.
Right. I do that all the time. When I'm writing, it feels like it don't come together either, so don't feel bad.
It does. But after a while, it does, and you are your worst critic to say, this isn't good enough, or this doesn't sound correctly. But in essence, it does, and that's what happened with my first book. I almost didn't let it be published because I was afraid. I was like, okay, this book sucks.
You know what? I've done that plenty, especially with my first book, and come to find out, people love my first book. So please do not feel bad. That's why it's taking me so long to finish this novel that's coming out here soon. I'm trying to make sure everything is right, so people will love it. So
exactly, we're our own, worst critics with that, and turns around and people just love it. I'm like, oh, great, okay.
Right, exactly. Did we give?
But to them, they enjoyed it, so that was great. So I just say, write from your heart. Just let it flow, and you're gonna have those ne'er-do-wells that try to knock you down. Stay up. Just get back up, dust yourself off, and keep on moving. That's about it.
And that's pretty much so. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are going to have one or two haters in the bunch, so I wouldn't worry about that. True. But if they all had your attitude, they wouldn't have a chance.
I don't think my attitude is any different than some of the people, but just dust yourself off and keep on going.
Well, you're a pleasant person to talk to, for one thing. And also, you're welcome. Well, and also, too, everyone knows with the Author's Corner, I don't do Q&A, I do real conversation. So there are no time limits on questions. This is not question answer. This is Janae E. Bennett telling me about Janae E. Bennett and smiling at me a little bit. See, this is a cheap way to get you to smile at me. See, because I'll just tell my audience, yeah, she's just smiling for me. But again, they can contact you on Facebook and Twitter and your website.
Sure can.
And finally, I just want to say thank you. This was a wonderful interview. And thank you for this being my first Skype interview. It is wonderful. Again, I'm going to... Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was saying thank you, for the opportunity to be interviewed by you.
Oh, no, this is just fine. And again, once again, this is the website, JanaeEBennett.com. And you can also catch her on Twitter as well as Facebook. And again, you have a good day. Now, that was an amazing interview. And I remember that interview like it was yesterday. And yes, that was my very first Skype interview. Back in the day, we used to do slideshow interviews and did it over like a tape recorder type of thing. But as we got a little bit more upgraded, we started doing, Skype shows and things like that. So yes, all interviews from now on will be on some type of video playing. Because you want to see the people that you're interviewing. Now when we come back, we'll have the founder of Show Me Records.
Check out Dysfunctional Beginnings by author Renee A. Taylor's Aunt Dolores, husband Eugene, betrays her. She finds out quite by accident that he's fallen in love with her sister, a sister incapable of reciprocating his affection. Of course, a divorce is inevitable. Instead of placing the blame for their breakup where it belongs, on her husband, she turns on her sister and hates the child she's carrying before it's conceived. That child happens to be Taylor. What happens next? You must read Dysfunctional Beginnings to find out. Check it out on Amazon or at www.naughtyandnicenovels.com and coming soon to your favorite bookstore. Bad intentions are deliberate. Is that a warning or a threat? No, it's a book by author Renee A. Beauty goes a long way and never seems to run out of road. Crave, a very gorgeous young lady, finds out that beauty does and doesn't matter when she's introduced to Blair, better known as Big Time B. After clubbing with her friend Gretchen, she and Blair end up having a one-night stand. He knows how to pleasure her treasure. What does that mean? Well, I guess you must buy Bad Intentions Are Deliberate by author Renee A. Buy it at Amazon or at www.naughtyandnicenovels.com and coming soon to your favorite bookstore.
Hey, welcome back. My next interview is with a very good brother, JayB Johnson. JayB Machiavelli Johnson is his Facebook post reads. He's the founder of Show Me Records. Him and DJ Boss turned Show Me Records into a very powerful thing. Good music, very wonderful music, positive music. That was one of the greatest interviews I've ever done locally. So, without further ado, here's my interview with JayB Machiavelli Johnson. I'm here with a rare treat. I'm about to interview JayB at Show Me Records. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, AC?
All right, nice talking to you, man. Thanks for coming, man. Thanks for talking to me. All right, man. I'm just going to start right at the beginning. Tell me, basically, how did you get started in music?
I mean, it dates back to when I was a little kid, man. Actually, DJing the house parties, my family put on. Dad used to buy records, man, every week. I used to sound like I was DJing, you know what I'm saying, on the radio for real, you know. And I just started really having a passion for it as I grew older, man. Doing private parties, went to private parties at colleges, nightclubs, and I mean, that's pretty much how I got started with the DJing.
And what's some of your favorite music that you played growing up?
Old school, man. Old school funk, Midnight Star, you know, Daz, man, stuff like that. Run DMC, of course.
That's what I'm talking about. The beat, definitely. I love the songs, love the beat, love everything back in the day. So what transitioned from your DJing to actually getting started in the music industry?
Well, what happened when I was at the club, I used to DJ at a club called the Evergreen Ballroom back in like the early 90s, and the owner used to bring big time artists to the club like Tina Turner, B.B. King, and it was like the Apollo of the Northwest. So it went from me actually being a DJ to a promoter. So with that being said, I started promoting national acts. And like my very first national act I promoted was Run DMC. So when I got, you know what I'm saying, a taste of that, I'm like, man, I'm loving this. So we went from Run DMC to Digital Underground, Loonies, just did Tech 9 a few years ago. And I just kept that going as far as promotion. And it's just, I love it, you know, it's a lot of fun.
All right, now for the biggest question, how did it blow up into all this?
Well, when I moved back to St. Louis, because like all that stuff I was doing that in Washington State. When I moved back to St. Louis, I pretty much kind of stopped doing music and kind of like settled down a little bit and family life and whatnot. And my cousin from LA, he came out here and he kind of like sparked. You know, he was like, you know, music is your dream, your passion, man. You know, what are you doing, man? He's like, looking around you, JayB, there's Nelly and there's Cindy, you know what I'm saying? You got all this around you, what are you doing? And like, right when he told me that, it kind of like sparked me, and I was like, you know what? Let me get back in the game, man. So, what ended up happening, I started Show Me Records. My cousin, which is a different cousin that's here in St. Louis, been here all his life. We were just sitting in the car one day and, you know, thinking the name, like, man, what are we gonna call it? You know what I'm saying? First it was gonna be Renegade, and it was something else. And then he was like, man, you know what? Show Me Records. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, you should name it Show Me Records. So that was like a couple years ago. So that's where I got the name from, and pretty much started getting a lot of connections. Like J-Dog, this is the exclusive studio that we're in right now. This is where we come and get all our music done, you know, mix and master and whatnot. And And I mean, we just grind. It's just a grind. It's an everyday grind.
I know all about the grind.
Yeah.
Now here's my question for you though. You had, like you were saying, you had Nelly, you had Chingy. St. Louis has got so much market for talent. They're so untapped. And you know, we have people like you that's doing it. We got other people that's doing it. What do we need to do to get over that? Like you know, Nelly and Chingy did.
Well, for one, I feel that we definitely got to get a radio station that's going to be behind us. You know what I mean? A station that's going to pretty much broadcast us, you know, on a higher level. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love college radio and whatnot. They play our music on DJ Bennett. Shout out to him. He got us in full rotation on his show down there at 89.5. But we need a station that's going to put us in full rotation and not just, okay, we're going to play 45 minutes or 45 seconds of your song during the 5 o'clock drive or 11 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? We need to be in full rotation. You know, just like they playing Rick Ross on the radio, just like they playing Lil Wayne, they need to play St. Louis artists like that. And that's going to be a pretty much jump for us to break into the mainstream or whatnot here in St. Louis. That's fine.
I personally feel that's the problem. We need to actually, if you have radio stations here that actually plays music, our music, you need to focus more on local artists.
Exactly.
Now, from my experience, I work in corporate television. Corporate radio, it's, you know, it gets kind of tricky and hard. Because like I said, like you were saying, that they'll play the Rick Ross, they'll play Lil Wayne, but I still find it hard to get why, just because you're corporate radio, you still can't put a local record on rotation.
Well, here's the thing with corporate radio. You got different independent contractors that, and it's called payola, but they, for some reason, they've gotten, I guess you can say, a secret way of paying the radio stations, and this is a secret way. I mean, I probably shouldn't be saying it, but you know how I'm gonna speak my mind.
No, you said it right. That's
you know what I
what
mean?
you're supposed to do, bro.
So you got these independent contractors that the record companies are paying for them to pay these corporations like a Radio One or a Clear Channel to play their artists on the radio. You might ask, okay, why can't St. Louis artists do the same thing? Well, a lot of the artists here in St. Louis, either they don't know this or they don't have funds, because it's not cheap. You know, it's not cheap to pay these corporations to get your song played on the radio. And I mean, I know an artist that paid $20,000 to get spun right here in St. Louis, and when that $20,000 was gone, his song was gone. So, you know what I'm saying, we're not dealing with the days where a DJ will hear your song and be like, you know what, that song is hot, man, I'm just going to play it because it's hot. It's all about money. It's all about money.
And see, that's the sad part, too, because the money's going to come out one way or another. You just have to take a chance on an artist.
Exactly. And there's no more chances being made anymore. I mean, even with record companies, if they see talent these days, they might not sign you just because you don't have 1 million YouTube views or you don't have 1 million people following you on Twitter. They're using, to me, stupid, you know what I'm saying, reasons to sign you other than your talent.
Actually, that was going to be my next question. Not just YouTube or Twitter followers. You know how Motown did it. You know how people like your artists or Nelly and other people get started. What do you think about the YouTube followers and the talent shows on TV and all this other stuff, as opposed to just going in the studio and grinding and paying your dues?
I mean, that's 2013. What you just said, that's the way it is. Back when Motown was, you know, high, bringing out Scorpion Rouse and bringing out Temptation, it wasn't like that. It was, okay, Barry Gordy heard you at a talent show, or you came to Motown. You know what I'm saying? If he liked you, you were good, or his people liked you, you got signed. It goes back to what I'm saying. They're not using that no more. They're using this social networking technology because they don't want to take that risk. They think, okay, well, if this person got 1 million views or 1 million plus views, then he got a lot of people that's going to buy his records, and we're going to make money. But the record companies, they're not even realizing that people are paying for fake views, right? And fake likes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these artists are, I mean, and I ain't trying to knock nobody hustle, with me, I'm trying to bring the realness back, and it's everything is fake now.
It is.
You know, in the music business, it's just so fake.
I totally agree. I'm in full agreement with you. That's why I don't know. I see like the slum movement and what you're doing and other people trying to bring the music back. You know, but I know it's hard because of I like to call it corporate radio.
Mm-hmm.
A corporate radio and B, you know, and Radio 1 and 2 should get shameless.
Exactly.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you listen to the radio lately, but I've been listening to Magic 104. I should think it's Magic 100.3. You know, hopefully I didn't get in trouble for saying the names and nothing like that.
Oh, no, you're
all right, but
fine.
they just switched over to trying to be like Hot 104, and Magic 100 has been such a quality radio station ever since I've known back in the early 80s.
Exactly.
And now you're hearing Lil Wayne on there now, you know what I'm saying?
When
Now
you said that the other day, that kind of took me aback because it's like, really, Lil Wayne?
Yeah. I mean, they're playing that type of thing, and I guess it's all about money. You know, it's all about money, not quality anymore, money.
But before I go any further, I wanted to say this interview, what we're doing here, this is just me and you talking. I don't follow anybody corporate. This is my show.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever you want to say, you can say. Cause I run this show, so you good.
Okay. All right.
All right. Switching gears. So who's the first artist that you signed with your group?
The first artist I signed to Sony Records was an artist or group by the name of MATV, Lil Sean and Lil Nine. I signed them. They were like 15, 16 years old. And the first song that we released was called "Throw That," music video for it, and it did well. It did well. We pretty much sold the music, on the streets. We didn't even put it, in the mom and pop stores or nothing like that. We did have it on iTunes, and it did good. That group pretty much broke Sony Records.
That's what I'm talking about. So how many acts do you have now, actively?
Right now I have MATV, I have Young K, I have DJ Boss, and I have Tech Thug, and Go Hard on the Track, which is producer / rapper.
How's everybody doing so far?
Well, right now, MATV really is the only artist that we've even brought out as far as material. Everybody right now is working on their albums and their mixtapes, and we're going to be kind of doing some masterpiece stuff this summer and just bam, 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 bam. Every month you're going to have something new from each artist and whatnot. We're also working on the tour we're going to be doing to support everybody's music this summer.
Well, keep me informed and I'll, get out there and promote that with you.
Okay.
Speaking of which, switching gears one more time, you're talking about doing the tour, talking about doing the mixtapes. I see you got the jeans and Cardinal shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about brothers like JayB as far as, I'm not knocking his hustle, but it's just the fact that it's almost like he's sold out as far as that's concerned. What do you,
I mean, with Jay-Z, I speak on Jay-Z a lot myself, and he got the term said, can't knock my hustle and whatnot. I mean, I used to be a Jay-Z fan back in the day, but let me tell you what made me not a fan of Jay-Z is when I'm a Christian, I believe in Jesus Christ, and when he said that Jesus couldn't save you, and the world begins when the church ends, I said, nah, you messed up, brother. I can't.
I lost you there.
I can't keep supporting you. I don't want to. And he even got deeper with it. These occult-looking videos that he got out of it. He's even, he's letting you know, what he's about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm cool.
Yeah, I understand. I truly understand. So now I want to ask. I have a theory as to what happened to the music, but what is your theory as to what happened? I'll give you my. Well, here's what's going on. Wu-Tang was really the last good group that I actually seen coming out. I mean, there was some a little bit after that. We had a resurgence in the early 2000s, like maybe 2003, 2004, with Outkast coming back to everybody. But what do you think really happened to the music?
they got faith. Technology, you know, I think technology, like we were just speaking on, I think that destroyed music. I mean, YouTube destroyed music, really. Right. It did when Radio 1, I mean, because I don't know how far back you can remember, like Magic 1, it was Magic 108 at one time. It wasn't ran by Radio 1. It wasn't ran by a clear channel. No. These corporations came into existence and bought out all these radio stations, and that's what did. That destroyed music, in my opinion. No, I think you're more accurate on that with that. You know, because I mean, like I say, I used to work for a TV station that was highly corporate. And it was that same type of stuff that happened on the radio, on the TV side, also happened on the radio side. I mean, nobody's locally owned anymore. There's no more local feel to it, unless it's all about making the corporations some money. That's what it's all about, money. Exactly. And I get a lot of criticism, a lot. You know, people say, "You hating? Why you know you're supposed to be in the industry and you hating on Lil Wayne? You hating on Rick Ross?" Look at me, man. I can't. How can I hate on the Jay-Z? Or how can I hate on Rick Ross? No matter what I say, them guys still gonna make money. They're gonna make what money. I'm doing, I'm speaking my mind. I'm giving you an opinion of what's going on. You're going to take it or you're not. Right. But don't call me a hater. I'm not a hater. Right, exactly. No, I know. Trust me. I get accused of being one myself. But you say Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Jay-Z. I throw Birdman in that mix too. You know, like all these brothers who, and like I said, I pick on Jay-Z and Birdman because they're old enough and they've been in the game long enough to know better. Right. That was a great interview we did with JayB back Elliot Johnson.
Now, as you see why, I mean, you got to go back and find my show, it's actually on my music special, why this, interview was so powerful, just so cool, period. Now, when we come back, we need a little laugh. So, I'm about to bring you my favorite comedy duo.
Are you looking for that one-of-a-kind gift for a loved one, but don't know what to get? G Crochet has your back. Let Sharitha crochet you that nice hat, scarf, or that one-of-a-kind item. If you can imagine it, she can crochet it for you. Go to G Crochet for more information.
Welcome back to the Author's Corner. We need a little laugh, so I'm going to bring you a very powerful comedy duo. Comedy duo was so great, they was actually on my first Author's Corner. You've seen them, they're a comedy duo, but you've seen them individually on shows like Hannah Montana, and you've seen them on different comedy shows as well as other different things. They've done things like the Cleveland Show and Hey Moni and things like that. Yes, I'm talking about my favorite comedy duo, Frangela.
We're ready.
All right.
Oh, boom.
All right. Well, how you guys been since we last spoke?
We've been great. Number one, we live in LA, which is sunny and fantastic. You can't ask for more,
Love it.
And, having a lot of fun. We've been touring since we last talked to you. We started touring a lot. We tour a lot of colleges and are on the road a lot. So that's a lot of fun. We have been all back and forth over this great U.S. of A.
Oh, okay. So what projects have you been doing in between since our last
We've done, we're on Quick Draw on Hulu. We're recurring characters on that.
Oh.
We're actually animal rights activists in an old western black town.
Oh.
It's awesome. Yeah. But we've got John Lear and Nancy Howler are the creators of that, and that's totally fun and great. We've been in a couple movies. We were just in, I think it's coming out now or soon. Yeah, it came out Slow Learners. And then there's another one. There's something else we were in that we keep forgetting to mention. Really? Yeah, and I'm forgetting again. Okay. We should get one of those, what do they call them, resumes? Yes. You can also catch us on a show called My Apocalypse on Access TV right now.
Right.
You can also we've been doing a lot of writing and producing on television shows too as well. Some we'll admit to, some we won't. Some we won't.
Well,
you're just gonna have to guess.
Well, you know, before I begin, I'm going to tell you guys on camera where my crushes begin.
Okay.
Then we'll go back to questions.
Okay.
First, I'll go with Francis.
Yes.
Francis, please don't find me weird or anything, but I was turned on by Hannah Montana's Roxy.
Oh, God. Really?
Yeah, I really was. I'm sorry. Whenever you did the Roxy thing and my eyes are always on you,
The Puma thing?
Yes.
It's like it's the eyes on you.
Right.
You're like those strong women.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
That's it. There are Roxy the Team. Well, that's funny. That's sweet. You should do like a whole Roxy line of porn.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, I know that's owned by, you're right, it's not owned by. Is that your problem? Angela is the most like anti-porn person. I can't believe you just said some of the nastiest shit I've heard you say. He's telling me. Oh, I should blame him.
Well, Francis, don't worry. I'm about to pick on Angela in a second.
Okay, good. I can take
When I saw Angela, well, see, I've seen you all the time. I've seen you on Zach and Cody. But when I saw you on the reality show, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, that's when I fell in love with you.
You know, it's breaking up. I couldn't hear you exactly. He saw you on a Celebrity, Get Me Out. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I started falling in love with you. I said, well, I don't know which women to choose from.
We did look our best. We really did. In the hot Costa Rican sun, sweating. Never go back to that. I'm never going back.
But I love you guys. You guys are so wonderful. I love your chemistry and everything. Well, my next question is, and this actually fits in what I'm about to ask. You guys have been a couple longer than most celebrity marriages.
True.
How does it work?
I think it works from a level of respect, and you know, we both really respect each other. And I think what's funny about the both of us is, I think we know each other really well, and we don't expect the other person to change. No, yeah, and you have to also, I think for any relationship to work, it's helpful if you can laugh about yourself. Exactly. And so you have to be, like, we have strategies for when we are annoying the shit out of each other. Like, if she's bugging the shit out of me, like, with her, oh, the air is on me, my humor is, oh, the air. I get chilly. Hair blowing on me, HD. This is fucking Scarlett O'Hara. I can't take it. So we have strategies, like we do this thing where, like, if we have to tell each other something that we think the other one will get defensive about, we do this whole play acting out where I'll say, hey, you know, we're on the phone, like, hey, could you get to Francis, who does yoga, is really into forgiveness and owning her own shit, and I have to talk to her for a minute. And I'll be like, oh, hold on for 1 second, she's doing her sun salutations and saging the apartment, and I'll put the phone down, I'll pretend like I'm running, and I'll be like, we'll even do like the foot sound, like, and then I go, hey, you know what I'm thinking? Maybe, you know, and whatever the issue is. So it's just, fundamentally, it's about being able to laugh at yourself, I think, not expecting each other to change, but hoping and praying for it. Yes, yes, and listening and being respectful. Also, I'm going to say, we have a really great time with each other. Yeah. I think we genuinely I've been faking it a lot, but I know, but that's all right for me. I don't care. We are best friends, so it's like we're already, like, we don't, I think it does sometimes bug people, but we don't need other people to have a good time. No, we really don't. So we like it.
You're a party all by yourselves.
Yeah, so we have a great time, so that's not hard.
Oh, see, that's wonderful. I mean, I love your relationship. That's another thing I love about you guys. You guys have such a good friendship. That's why I can never say I have crushes on you guys, because I never want you guys fighting over me. Ever.
Yeah, you'd be like the Yoko Ono of the that would
right, exactly.
Be hated. Yeah, you'd break up Frangela. People would hate you forever.
See, I would never do that. I couldn't do that. Not to you or your fans.
Thank you.
Now, I want to backtrack for a second. I want to go back from the last time we spoke. I want you to remind us, how did you guys meet?
We met in Chicago. We both worked at Second City in Chicago. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's a world-famous theater of improvisation. And Anne's the only person in the Second City history who has done all 4 stages, okay? So she started out in, I'm telling you a story. She started out in Detroit. She went up to Toronto, Second City, which is where you've heard of SCTV and all of those people came out of, and that, like, really a lot of the combination of the first Saturday Night Live cast came out of Second City Toronto to Second City Chicago. And then she came down to Second City Chicago, and she moved into my building. And we sort of kind of peripherally knew each other, but we ran into each other on the stairs, and she said, hey, you want to go to a movie one day? And I was like, sure. And we went, and we laughed and laughed and laughed, and it's been, history ever since.
See, I love it. So you guys have been living happily ever after since then.
Yeah. And people always think we were cousins or we've known each other since we were kids or something. Yeah. But even when we had only known each other a few years, people really thought that we were related. Mm-hmm. People thought that, we must have grown up together. We must have known each other's kids. I'm like, no, it's just like in that kind of Greek way. I think we found our other half. Yeah.
I love it. Now I want to switch gears for a second.
All right.
Because another reason I love you guys, and I'm just gonna put myself out there. I'm a cartoon video game kind of buff. You guys have done a lot of cartoons. I know recently, Francis, you've done the Cleveland show.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you guys have done video game and cartoon wise? Besides Hey Moni, we'll talk about Hey Moni a little later.
Yeah, Hey Moni, obviously. Done a lot of voiceovers for video games. Yeah. I did Scooby-Doo. I got to be one of the villains.
Cool. Wait a minute. Let me cut you. Let me cut you off for just a second. You said you were one of the villains, right?
Yeah, I got to say, if it wasn't for you, those darn kids.
That's what I wanted you to do. That's exactly what I wanted you to do.
That's the only thing I wanted. I walked in, I was like, do I get to say that? And they were like, yes, calm down. I'm a voice in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Mr. T's wife. Cool. But we've done a lot. I did a bunch of Spider-Mans, and we both did Reservoir Dogs, and Superman I've done, and then I can't remember all the. Oh, there's lots of video games. Because, but I can't. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other. Quite a few. Those when you go record for those, you don't mind. Yeah. Excuse me. You do wonderful lines, and you do a lot of like, don't go in there. You're like, ah! And
right.
so, they kind of tend to all run into each other a little bit. You know what I mean? Or like the getting hit. Yeah, it's like, oh, like, ooh. And it's like a long one. You're like, ooh. Like, and screams and stuff. So, and so you hear like a black street voice, and they're not all black, but like I remember in particular a bunch of the Spider-Man lines were like, you call yourself a superhero Spider-Man? That ain't nothing. I can do that. Just like random voices.
Wow.
But kids are awesome. There are more.
Well, what were your favorites? What were the favorites you said?
I did like doing Spider-Man. I like it when we get a vague ethnicity, like a vague nationality, I should say. So like they were like for a character in Spider-Man, they wanted the person to be sort of because of course this doesn't work as a description, African, because that's a continent. As you are probably aware, and there are lots of different cultures and languages all over this continent. So what you kind of get through like the kind of the Hollywood buzz speak and what people mean, and what they mean is probably of Black African with a some sort of a little bit of Dutch and probably a heavy French colonial influence.
Exactly.
So it's like that. You end up you just make up an accent. You know, they do French, but not too French or whatever. Like it's so that's always I like that in Spider-Man, and those were fun. And it was always fun too because we would always get my husband is a big video game player, so we'd always get the games that Angela was in and be like, "Hey, Angela!" And we'd be beat up with Black lady. Crab in the barrel.
Uh-oh. Think you're in trouble, Francis. You ready? Hey, do you guys mind me calling you by your first names? Okay, I'm just making sure. I just wanted to be sure, keep things respectful.
Angela's dog. I'm wearing my dog this day.
Uh-oh.
He's not sad.
Is he okay?
Yeah. Okay. He came over. He respects me, that's all. I'm crazy.
He can be in the interview too.
Benny Bull.
I love it. I love it.
Well, yeah, it was.
Well, my next question is actually for Francis because we talked about. I just mentioned the Cleveland show. You played Cleveland's mom, correct?
Yeah, Cookie.
Yes. How did it feel playing Cookie?
It was fun. It's a lot of fun because my husband was not Scott Robinson. Craig Robinson. Ooh, who I love. We love Craig.
Oh, he played Freight Train.
He played Freight Train.
Okay, I love Craig Robinson.
And so this is the thing, which is horrible. I just couldn't come up with his name. I've known him for like 25 years, right? And we worked in like literally the first live show on stage he ever did was with me, which is hysterical. But he's always been hysterical. But you working on the Cleveland show was a lot of fun. You would walk in to do, and it was always really quick. You walk in and do a few lines, and Carl Reiner would be sitting there, or Will.i.am is sitting there waiting to go into the booth. So that was always, like, really amazing, is to walk in and see super, super famous people.
It's like the who's who of who's going to be there next. I love that. I really love that. Now, you two, well, when we last talked, you guys lived apart. Now, but now you live in the same city. But your schedules are still demanding, both apart and together. How do you guys keep the schedules together?
Angela is really the scheduling whiz. You know what I mean? It's like, here's the thing. Look, I'm the booker, right? I will book the travel, but Angela handles the paper and the schedule and kind of keeping us like together on things, So we each have our roles, in terms of traveling and doing things and going places and what have you. So in that way, I think that's kind of how that goes down. It's weird because I think this is true for everybody. I feel like in life, not just performers, but like you'll have nothing to do, and then everybody wants to do something on like the same day. Yeah.
Right.
It's like they'll be like, because the summer obviously there's a lot of colleges they're not bringing in people for activities because they have much lower enrollment if they have summer classes. So we're kind of done with that for 2 or 3 months, and it's also a time when Hollywood tends to be a little bit quiet. But then there'll be like all of a sudden a week when there's a bunch of stuff to do. So here in LA, you can't schedule a lot in a day just because it can take one activity can really take the whole day.
Right.
Just traffic-wise, getting to and from things can be one thing. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now my next question is about the campus tours. Describe your campus tours and how do they work and how does the fans receive you?
Well, we do, there's lots of ways to do, but we primarily work at this organization called NACA, which is like the National Activities Council American Colleges. National Association of Campus Activities. There you go. Yeah. And they have conferences, schools belong to this, and they have regional and national conferences and performers, all sorts of performers, bands, poets, hypnotists, tumbling groups.
Oh, wow.
They go and perform at these showcases, we usually end up being MCs at these showcases, and then those kids go back to their school and they call back, and they hire different people to come and do an activity. Yeah. So we do a lot of that. I mean, we get booking through. You can always write us at frangela08@gmail.com and put you in contact with our agent, our booking agent for that stuff. But that's how the college shows basically happen. So they happen in these ways of. There's all sorts of rules about regions. So earlier this year we did a lot of shows in the Pennsylvania, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New England area. And then but when we go back out in August we'll be more in, I think, Iowa, Idaho, in that area. And then every year you can do other regions.
Right, so then you might get one year you'll be heavily south, you'll be doing shows in Georgia and Tennessee and Texas and and Florida. And then you look up and then you're back on the East Coast doing North Carolina, South Carolina, Massachusetts.
So they have 6 regions that don't really make a lot of sense.
No, they don't make any sense.
Now I'm kind of upset because I'm in the Midwest. When you coming to the Midwest?
I don't know. This is the thing. We don't hire us.
Okay.
So other people have to do it.
you're from Chicago.
In the Midwest.
Right. But you're from Chicago. You gotta do the Midwest.
And the way that hiring works.
Right. Exactly.
Now, we don't go, we're going to do a show. Please come.
Right.
So somebody has to book it. But that's the reason it doesn't happen. People are like, well, you were here last, why can't you come back again? I'm like, that's just how NACA operates. They just have rules. They have actual rules about you can't do the same region every year.
Yeah.
I understand.
So sometimes it might take a year for us to swing back through.
Yeah.
And I think we did the Midwest. Did we do the Midwest last year or the year before?
The year before. So we're booked right now, and then we'll do some more conferences, and then we'll get booked back into the other regions. So it's a cyclical pattern.
Yeah.
Okay. So in your shows, what usually, and you guys can be the better judges of this, what keeps the fans laughing?
What keeps the fans laughing?
Yeah. What do you guys do?
We do a lot of pop culture. We try to make sure that our show is catered to our audience, and where they are, So college audiences are different than, say, going to do a club show, If you're doing a club show for adults, you can talk about all kinds of things like, a job and relationships and what have you.
But you go into, we did a NACA, and a guy who was a comedian did his entire act on being married and getting a mortgage, and he came off stage and he was like, I think you guys could give me a better intro. We're like, oh, boo, it wasn't the intro.
No.
Wow.
They're 19.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. And you're talking to them about mortgages, and it's just not where they're at.
They're so far from that right now. Exactly.
And we're pretty young at heart, to put it kindly.
Yeah.
We're immature.
Yeah.
So those are our peeps. So we can converse with younger people about what's going on. And we love those shows. The college shows are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They're just so much. The audiences are great, and there's not that. The clubs can get negative. Yeah. And so it's so great to be in a situation where everybody wants to be there, and nobody feels like, make me laugh. I paid for this babysitter.
Right.
And another thing is that college.
Yes, and welcome back. But yes, I got to say those ladies had you laughing. And yes, I'm willing to admit, Roxy was my crush. Her, Frances' character on Hannah Montana. I'm sorry. I thought her eyes really were on me. So yeah, we're not even gonna go into that. When we come back, we'll start discussing this season as well as other changes going on within the show.
Ever experienced a love for someone so forbidden, feels so wrong, but yet his passion makes you feel oh so right? Even if you have, meet Solomon and Sheba, my award-winning author, Francine Kraft, and experience it all again. Experience the roadblocks of pregnancy, past transgressions, and the deathbed confession threatens the most powerful of romances. Can they survive? By Solomon and Sheba from your favorite bookstore, Amazon, and BarnesandNoble.com.
Check out the grand opening for JayB Crochet. It's a one-of-a-kind shop for one-of-a-kind crochet items. What do you imagine? Can Sharita crochet it for you? Bet she can. One-of-a-kind items for one-of-a-kind artists. Contact Sharita Newsom for details at RERELL30@yahoo.com or log on to her website at www.JayB for pricing and details. It's JayB Crochet, where art meets practicality.
Welcome back to the Office Corner. We've had 3 very good best of interviews. Some of the best interviews that I've done, you'll see more later down the road. Now let's fast forward into the newer season of the Office Corner. In addition to more on-location interviews, more powerful interviews, and different types of stuff that I always like to work with, there are 3 ways to watch the Office Corner now. There's my YouTube channel at HD Television. There's my media page, which is not up. This is actually my regular web page, but HD Campbell Media. You can catch that at www.hdcampbellmedia.com, or you can watch it on my Facebook page, which is also called HD Television. You got 3 ways to watch. Also, check out my new book, How to Lose a Black Woman, the Remix. I'm doing remixes of all my books because I had issues with my publisher. So I'm now publishing them under my new imprint, which is Hard Drive Publishing. So you get to see a more updated Bruce Williams, things like that. A lot more things going on along with we're doing more special shows. Like right now I'm looking for my horror offer for a Halloween special. And since October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I'm also looking to find domestic violence survivors who've also written books about the situation. We're also going to have more than just authors as always. We're going to have entertainers, we're going to have musicians, we're going to have so many things. We're going to bring back our advice segment with different voices in the industry who's going to talk about inspiring you, who's going to talk about how to get you published, what's going to get you published, who to associate with to get you published. We're going to go on more with my website. We'll talk about things like putting together a website, and I'll actually be doing the lecture series myself. So there'll be so many things going on with the Office Corner. And like I say, we're also going to be going more places. So, without further ado, peace, hair grease, and as always, let your writing fuel your spirit and God bless.